All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome. Happy Friday. I am your host and pilot, Uncle B. Today, we have a couple things to do. First off, we're going to take off in the Grumman Goose in the Coast Guard livery. And we're going to take off and we're going to fly. Let me make sure. Yep. All right. We're going to take off. I'm going to fly this route here. Our first ISQ is our first. It's a DME. We'll fly over here, over this little airport. It's Schoolcraft County. It's quite a unique name. And then we're going to come across the water here, intercept this VORTAC, not far from Pellston Regional Airport of Emmett. And then we're also going to pass near, not quite over, but Sheboygan County Airport. Head out across the water again. And then we're going to come in over runway 11. We're probably going to pass over, try to identify our landing, our kind of our landmarks. Circle around to the left. Come back in over, roughly over here. And then land. And then after that, we will take a quick look. We'll do a startup. Show you guys the new Cessna 414AW Alpha Whiskey. New came out last night. There was two aircraft that were released last night. I think of the two, it's the only one that's probably worth getting. The other one's just I think a rehash of something we've already had so far in the sim. So, morning, Joseph. So we'll wait to see if anybody's going to pop in. We're starting on land. What I found out, it seemed to me that there's something wrong with the aircraft and starting on the water. I tried a couple different times to see if I could get it to stay started. There's an issue, like one of the engines just wants to shut down, and then invariably both engines shut down. So I don't know what it is that's causing it. The only way I can get us going today is on the land. So that's our plan for today. We won't fly the 414. I did do a quick test flight yesterday evening. And it's, you'll see. I'll just leave it at that. You guys will see what it looks like and how it's going to take some practice, but it's amazing. I'll show you. Yeah, you guys will be, hopefully, we'll see. Someone suggested to me last night, well, why don't you ask them for a free copy and tell them you're going to review it? And I'm like, I don't think I have enough clout in the Microsoft Flight Sim community. My name's not big enough to ask for a freebie like that. So, anyway. So wait a few more minutes and then we'll get ready to get started here. I don't know. So tomorrow, hello Mela. Tomorrow. I don't know what times yet because I've been in contact with Para, but I don't know really what's happening yet. So tomorrow, two things are gonna. Well, this is what may possibly happen. One, because F1 qualifying is tomorrow afternoon, apparently for the Italian Grand Prix, I think it is. So he wants to watch that. So we may not do the flight until later his time after he watches qualifying, which is, I think it's an hour or two on TV. I think it's 2 hours, something like that. But anyway, if I don't fly wing with him when he's flying the MiG, we may, I'll do my F-14 flight. Good morning, Mick. But if we do his flight, we'll do it on his stream. So I want to put a shout out in for anybody who doesn't know Para. You'll give him a follow. Most everybody in here knows Para so far. But I will. Excuse me. I will try to put something in the Discord if I know for sure what time we're going to go live. It'll be on his channel. He's streaming the flight. I'm just flying along with him. So whatever time that may be. Now, if we go, if the flight we want to do, I want to do with him is later in the day, then 7:10 tomorrow I will be flying in the F-14. We're going to take off from North Island, zip up the coast, and land at Moffett. So that shouldn't be a very long flight. But if we if we fly the MiG and I fly wing with him in the morning, then the F-14 flight's canceled. So we're not going to try to do both. So anyway. So yeah, that's the plan for tomorrow. So one of those things will be the plan, the thing that we're going to do. Something like that. All right, I think I'm going to spawn in here on the departure runway and be ready to go. Get the things plugged in. Our DME and our Vortac. Okay. Oh, that's right. This is not a towered airport. All right, so let's get do a couple things here. Sure. See, it's doing it again. Oh, all right. I'm gonna have to keep the RPMs up a little bit. I don't want the engine to cut out because then it's just a pain to get it to start again. All right. Let's get the lights on. They're all on. This out. See, even this is that's kind of weird. I have a feeling that the problem is that the with the keyboard installed, or the mouse and keyboard, something's not working right. I don't get it. That have to have the landing lights. Need the position lights on. All right, let's get this out of there. Let's see, 114. 85. Alright, I'm going to have to do this. And the other one is 111. So those are all set. This looks like school chairs, right? You know, doesn't it? It's like something you'd see at a classroom. They don't look very comfortable. All right. Well, let's see here. 722. Let's add a little fuel into the tank here. See, even that's a little off. That's interesting. All right. Yeah, they do. Yeah, I'm missing the desk exactly. All right. 073. All right. Well, we'll wait to see if anybody says they want to fly. Wait a minute. 2 more minutes. Now, the weird part about this place is there is another runway right behind us. And when I looked at this, when you pick the spawn point, it's like right back there. But of course, for whatever reasons, it always puts us a little farther forward than we expect. So, oh, I God, I wanted to test this. This is the one that I've been one of the reasons why I got the mouse is this. Should open the window right here. Nope. Oh well. I think there's a problem with the window. So I kind of feel like there's a lock. Oh, there we go. There it is. Aha. I had some leftover pork loin for dinner last night. There we go. I had a feeling like there was a something wasn't right. There had to have been like a little tab or something that I... Alright, no support this weekend in the UK out of respect. Oh! No. Well, you know, I just want to make this comment, and then I'm gonna... I tell you, I've never, like, some of the most vitriol stuff said on social media about the passing of the Queen last night is just, it's, oh my goodness. Like, the the lack of respect. Now I get it, maybe she wasn't the most popular monarch ever, whatever, but it's just like the way people talked was just like, think about if that was your uh family member that passed away and somebody was talking about your family member like that. How would you feel? It's just like, wow, there's this, wow, yeah. Like, social media, I think, has become the absolute worst part of society. People just don't have there's no level of respect. There's no even a bit of I don't know what's the word, humanity, decorum, whatever you want to call it. It's wow. And I get it, it's mostly young people who don't know any better. They think that they have to say some of those ridiculous crap to prove something to somebody. I don't know. Yeah. Well, I agree, Joseph, but unfortunately that's roundabout your generation of folks in the world right now. Not trying to point fingers or anything. All right, I think we've waited long enough. Nobody else is here, so let's go. Because that your generation is the generation that has grown up on social media the most. Well, but see, I would agree with you, Joseph. But there's a lot of people who would disagree with you, which is their right to do. But it's not their right to trash her as a person. You know. Ooh, boy, getting pushed off here. Was it was 073. And I know not every person in history is going to be admired by everybody. That's not a reasonable expectation. She certainly had her faults. But she did try to do her best. I think anybody in her position would do the same, do their utmost best for the country. But a lot of people don't realize that, or they don't respect that. Yeah, but it's somehow mother and grandma that the whole world knows at the end of the day their comments and them will only be remembered for one day, not through history. Yeah, I agree with that. That is true. That is true. But I mean, I had, after a while, like, I didn't know until I was in your stream last night that she had passed. when you said a moment of silence, and I found out, and I was like, oh, that's not good. That's rather unfortunate that she had passed on, but she has lived a full life. You know, probably a lot longer than most people expected her to. Probably including herself. So yeah, it's but yeah, I think it's just a lot of young people who I would hope one day realize their the way that they talked about somebody who'd passed is unacceptable. You know, but only time would tell. Yeah. Well, I don't really pay attention to the news because it's just it gets so negative a lot of times. Just here's a prime example of that. You know. Um so yeah, I didn't know about it, and then once Mick said something about a minute of silence, and then I was like, "Oh, that's why." Okay. But Captain Arash said something in his on his Discord the other night that um, you know, for many of us, she's even though we're not British subjects, for many people around the world, she's the only monarch they've ever known. Uh, you know, and it's strange to think that there won't be a queen now, at least not in the near future, unless But yeah, it's yeah, she's been the monarch since I've been alive, since since I've been alive way longer than. I'm kidding, bad joke. She was the monarch when I was a toddler. Or she became the monarch when I was a toddler. Kidding, of course. Yeah, it is strange. Somebody is well known worldwide as she is no longer there. It is weird to think that we're not going to have. Oh, look at this! I think I'm overtaxing the engines here. All right, let's bring the RPMs back a little bit here. This has happened before when we tried to fly this aircraft. We get this weird sort of... Alright, let's cut the mixture back a little bit as well. It looks like it's... I don't know if it's oil. I mean, it's fine, Joseph. We're okay. We could turn on the carburetor heaters, the anti-ice. Changes anything. We'll see. This might be oil burning off, that's all. We'll be fine. If we have to land because of mechanical problems, we'll land. It's fine. Certainly we've got a lot of water that we can land on if necessary. But anyway, yeah, I thought that was really, like, I just had to stay off social media last night. I'm sure the media in general, some people were not very pleasant in their uh, thoughts about the Queen passing. But yeah. So, anyways, so tomorrow, yeah, it's either going to be Per and I over in Poland, or we will be um, or I will fly the F-14 first, and then we'll go to 30-something nautical miles. All right. Ooh, wow. A little bumpy here. Ooh, now it's gotten dark. Uh-oh. That's not good. Yeah, we're overspeeding too, I think. I think that's why we're burning oil. See if we can get that to cut out before we start. We've had this before. Let's see, now we're speeding because we're starting to lose altitude. Let me refresh this because a little bit behind there. It does seem like we're speeding. We'll keep an eye on that in case our... I wonder if that's just how it looked in real life. I don't know. Where's our oil? Fuel pressure, oil temp. Okay, our oil temp is all good. Our oil pressure is right where it's supposed to be. Our oil temp is a little hot. Yeah, and it seems like it's getting hotter. Okay. And we're still... I'm trying to trim this thing out. It's like we're losing altitude. Yeah, our oil temp is a little hot. But it's right on the tail end, or the... I think it's almost in the yellow there. But I'm not sure how to change or bring the oil temp down. I don't know if there's a trick to it. I cannot get this plane to level off. Or... Nah, we'll be fine, Joseph. I'll keep an eye on it. We'll do okay. We'll be okay. But see, it's weird because I don't have the... like those sorts of failures are on. You know. I wonder if the engines just ran hot. The oil temps were usually were hot in the real aircraft there. Boy, it still does not want to stop losing altitude. All right, take care, Milla. No, it's not the first time it's happened, Joseph. I've flown this before. We were on a flight, and then it started to do this, and so I did land. But I don't... We're not... Okay, so if I pause this, right, and I look at my assistance options, and I go to failures and damage, the engine stress, the aircraft stress, and the crash damage are all disabled. So I think it's just something that they put in. I don't know. I've seen it before, but we didn't land because I'm like, this is kind of odd. You know, maybe I should land this to be on the safe side. But I don't think it should not fail because the failures are not enabled. I don't know how to drop the engine temp. I mean, we've come off the throttle quite a bit. I don't know if it's an RPM thing, maybe. I mean, I'm already... a bit concerned about dropping the prop any lower than it is already. Because we don't want to feather it too much more. But let's see if that helps drop the temp. Bring it back under control. I mean, it's not like too bad, but it's not like... See, it's still within the green area. So, oops. Yeah, take care, Milla. Thanks for stopping by before you got to go to work. Appreciate it. All right, next one we are going on heading. It's not on fire, Joseph. You're making a catastrophe out of nothing. It's fine. We're fine. Okay. It's not on fire. There's no flames or anything. It's It's fine. It's just one of those things where we're fine. We're fine. If I have to land it, I'll land it, but right now we're going to continue on. If the plane was on fire, there'd be I'm sure there would be all kinds of warnings and stuff, and I would have to pull the fire suppression system, so we're fine. Ooh, I need to get a picture. Well, you know what? We'll get a picture on the ground, I think. Should have gotten a picture. You know what? What the heck? I forget. Yeah, I don't have. I think it's just something. I have to look at Big Radial's website, but I'm almost positive this is something that they put in. You know, kind of like when we're flying along and we have that trail sometimes behind us. I think it's just something that they animated in just to give a little bit of pizzazz, a little bit of zing. All right, our next 113. Let's see. We gotta swap frequencies as well. Okay. And let's see, we should be on a frequency of 111.80. Yep, alright. Why is it not? What did she say it was? What did ATC say? 4063. Ooh, wow, I'm getting way off course here. That's not what I wanted. Yeah, I'm going to have to look at their website to see if I think I've looked before, but I don't think I ever saw anything that says this is why this happens. Well, see, it's still within the green, so I don't know. Maybe I think it's just something that they put on, that they've programmed in just to make it look a little more dramatic. That's all. Oh, I'm still muted. Sorry. I don't know what's happening with Para yet. As soon as I hear something and I can say for sure what our plan is for tomorrow, I'll try to let everybody know. We'll see. All right. Pardon me just a second, folks. I gotta take my vitamin. Thanks for your permission there, Joseph. So we'll do something tomorrow, but I don't know what his plans are. If like I said, if F1 is the priority for him, we'll do the flight with him later in the day, and I'll just do the F-14 flight in the morning. Shouldn't take very long to do. Oh, Mr. Addies, what are you like today? See, even I come off a throttle, but it's like my it seems like my RPMs go up. I don't know why. Is 42 nautical. All right, I think this was the longest part of our flight today. Is this 67 nautical miles? Yeah, so we're almost halfway there. Oh, I almost forgot. Story time. Story time with Joseph Adams. So, last night, and for those of you who watch Nick's Battlefield streams, Evan and Pulse like to call for the medic, and I always joke around and say, well, the medic's not available because somebody saw fit to send the medics to dining facility for what we call in the military. And I don't know if it's the same thing in the UK, but they call it kitchen patrol, KP. I know you were, Joseph. I have no doubt. But see, you didn't even remind me. If you were waiting, you could have reminded me a long time ago and said, hey, Rob, we're supposed to have story time, aren't we? So anyway, KP, it's more so, it used to be a thing that you would get tasked with. It's like when I was in basic, you had to do at least one round of, you had to do KP. That was there was no way of getting out of it that I know of. So it was required. It was like one of those. You foggy as well. Okay. You say so, Joseph. You say so. So, but basically, it's one of those things. You go, if you're assigned KP duty, you go to the cooks and you say you're there for KP duty. They give you the your taskings, whatever, like, hey, on during this period of time, this is what you need to do, and then and usually it's a crappy deal, like you feel like you're just going to get screwed over, but it's not. At the end of the day, it's not bad duty because you're not really, they can't task you with anything else, right? You get to eat before everybody, usually you get fed a little bit better than everybody else. It just sounds terrible because in many cases when I've done KP, especially early on, you have to wash dishes in the cold. And so you have a heater that heats up the water, and you put your hands in there, and it feels good, but then you take your hands out, and you're just like, ah! So it's not very pleasant. But when I was on my last duty station as a medic, what happened was there's people who have this extreme. I wouldn't say it's extreme. That might be a little extreme saying extreme. They have a strong dislike for the medics. A lot of people feel that the medics we just sit around twiddling our thumbs waiting for something terrible to happen, and then we rush to somebody's aid, and then we're looking for a pat on the back or something. Or in some cases, some people suggested that medics just they're wishing somebody would get injured. Like, we want somebody to be hurt physically to give us something to do. So like after we got back from Afghanistan, we was it before? Maybe no, it was before we went to Afghanistan. No, it was after we got back. Yeah, it was after we got back. People leave and leadership changes and whatnot, and so I'm supposed to be teaching, and you guys have heard some of these stories before about when I've taught combat lifesaver classes, which is basically, that's the fancy way of saying buddy aid, right? Because the medic can't be everywhere at once taking care of everybody, especially if there's a lot of injured people. So we try to teach soldiers some basic stuff that they can do to help their fellow soldiers survive until we can get to them. Or, as we used to say, God forbid, we were the ones that were injured, and we had to rely on the fact that hopefully these soldiers pay attention to our classes, and they're able to help us. Otherwise, it's like, you just put a bullet between my eyes, just don't make me suffer any further. Boy. So I was tasked with teaching these classes, but before that I had to go pull what they call road guard duty. Now at Hunter Army Airfield, there's a kind of a loop around the airfield, right? A road that if you follow, it's not like a whole loop, but it's like you can follow a road and come right back to the same road. If whether you went left or right, you could go around the whole airfield basically, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So in the morning for physical fitness training, when units would go for a run, you had to have somebody. You would have to close off the roads. And that's what I would do. I was at like an intersection, and at a certain time, you put these plastic barriers across the road, meaning that the road was now shut down for physical fitness training for an hour from 6:30 to 7:30. And of course, you have people who are running late. Oh, but I'm like, hey, I can't open the road again. I'm not supposed to, because it's a safety thing. Now, because most units you would do calisthenics, do some warm-up exercises, that sort of thing, and then you would go for your run. But the calisthenics would probably be about 15 minutes worth of stuff, and then you would have the run, which would be predominantly the main portion of your physical fitness training for the morning. But then you have to run. Once that's done, you have to open the road back up, and then because when it's very close to the time, everybody's starting to honk their horn, like, open the road. It's like, no. Once, you have to wait until they basically, like, almost like an all clear is given. Like, oh, okay, everybody's off the road. You can open the road again. It's fine. But anyway, so I was doing that but it was like people would say, well, the medics aren't doing enough. Now, I get it, but see, the funny part is when we had medics who were like substandard, we tried to bring them up to the standard and everything. Those were the medics that you could put on such duties. Like on deployment, if you screwed up as a medic, they would put you. And I saw it happen when I was in Iraq. You would be off medic duty, and they would tell you to go to the gym, and you would hand out towels at the gym as a medic. You were not allowed to practice as a medic at all. Like, in some cases, some people's licenses were revoked, and they weren't allowed to be a medic. Like they were in the process of being reclassified in another job. Like they screwed up so badly. And the one person I know for sure in Iraq that it happened to, they lost control of the morphine that they'd been issued prior to a convoy. When they came back, they did not turn it in or secure it. They left it in their uniform pocket, and it was found at the laundry facility. Because you take your laundry, you don't wash your laundry yourself. You take it over, drop it off, and they give you a little tag, and somebody washes it for you, and then you go pick it up. So this medic lost control of their. It's a serious violation, especially as a medic. I never liked getting issued morphine, because I was like, if something were to happen, it's just like you're screwed. So just, literally and figuratively. And so she got put on towel detail at the gym on our side of Baghdad, at the airfield there, Baghdad Airport. I think it was Liberty VBC was where we were at. So, but there's people who would just say, well, or my most glaring example besides being on road guard detail was when we were still in the process. We knew we were going to Afghanistan, or we knew we were deploying, but we didn't have dates or times or locations or anything like that. So we went to the field. and it was kind of it was supposed to be like a fun thing, but not fun. Like they were gonna have a family day. It was like it had been raining. It was like we were out in the field. And it was just like nothing but a pile of mud. Like we were just in a field of mud. And so those who had family members who they said, okay, you can go back, get your family. You're gonna bring them out the next. So a lot of people got to go home for the night, bring their family out the next day. So they got to sleep in a real bed, take a real shower, all that kind of stuff. I stayed out in the field because that's the kind of person I am. But part of it was I didn't have family there, so it wasn't like I could say, well, I want to go back. It was like it just made sense for me to stay, right? Well, my company leadership, my first sergeant, decided that he had a bad he had a I would say he had a serious hatred for the medics overall. Like he would find ways to screw with us. Like we're trying to set up and he'd say, I need 2 medics to go over to help dig a fighting position. Okay, but first sergeant, we're trying to set up our aid station and our, we're trying to set everything up so that if anybody gets injured, we could start helping people. No, they need to go over. So I'm the only medic. Our doc stayed out in the field as well. So there was just me and a medical, an MD, not a PA, but an MD. Because I don't think we had a PA yet at that time. Yeah, we hadn't got one assigned. So they put me on gate guard out in the field. And I'm like, okay, but I'm the only medic. It doesn't matter. Go. You got to go. Okay, but so who's supposed to help Doc take care of people? Who, or the doctor? Who's going to help the doctor take care of anybody who's injured or sick? Well, it doesn't matter. You're going to go out there. So I went out there. And I mean, my doctor was like, "This doesn't make any sense." And I'm like, "Well, sir, what are you gonna do?" So we're sitting out there, and so what he did was we had little walkie-talkies and lots of it wasn't like a walkie-talkie that just him and I could talk on. It was he purposely, even though he was serious, what he did was he would say, "Hey, Sergeant Breimer, where's this at in our medicine cabinet?" I'd be like, "Well, sir, if you count this many drawers down and it's labeled." "Oh, okay, all right, thanks." And then then it would be something else. And so then finally, so his thought process was, if enough people heard that, they would say, "Wait a minute, why is the MD asking the medic where things are? Why isn't the medic with the MD?" Oh, wait a second. So, yeah, so finally somebody sent somebody out to relieve me from gate guard out in the field. And yeah, the MD was like, "I don't understand why they did it." But it was kind of like they had to wait for people to leave before they could make the decision. Because if they made it while the first sergeant was still there, they would have, he would have been like, no, he's not coming off the gate. No, he's staying right where he is. So, yeah, so that's why I joke about that kind of stuff. But it's... But it's surprising how often it happens, only because somebody thinks that the medics are a bunch of prima donnas and we have god complexes and all this other crazy stuff. And then when it's like, no, we're just trying to do our job. And if you don't like that, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. That's what we were trained to do, is help people and be there in the event that something happens. Just like when before I went back on active duty, we were up at, and again, I think some of you have heard this story before. I was up in Northern California near the town of Hayfork. wildfire stuff, and there was me and 3 other medics, myself, another sergeant, and 2 junior enlisted, and I stayed in the tent that was like our aid station kind of area. And we had somebody come in like all night between me and the physician's assistant. We monitored this guy, and it turned out he had acute appendicitis. And so the PA went with the patient. They went to a hospital, and I think it was in Reading, to take them in, and he went into surgery pretty much right away. It was that bad, like his appendix was getting ready to rupture, kind of thing. All right, a final heading of 065. Yeah. So, yeah, a lot of people. A lot of people seem to think that we're they think the worst of us until they need our help, and then it's like there's a little meme that goes around sometimes that that says something like, "You never look down on Doc because you'll never know when you're going to be looking up at Doc," which is what if you were a good medic, people called you Doc, right? And that was like a rite of passage, that when somebody called you that was like you were trustworthy, that you were going to take care of people to the best of your ability, that you wouldn't try to let anything happen to anybody, kind of thing. Yeah, so yeah, that's why I joke about that stuff, even though to me it's not a joke, because a lot of people had that serious dislike of the medics and thought that we were terrible people. I mean, I've had somebody suggest that medics were selfish. Like, why would you say that? In what world does that make sense? That medics are selfish? Like, no, that doesn't jive with the kind of person that would be a medic. If you're selfish, you would do something different. Being a medic is probably one of the most selfless things that you can do in the military. So, yeah, that's why I say those things. But I say it jokingly, but I also am a bit serious about it, because unfortunately there's been people who are serious about their extreme dislike of the medics. And you never know why it is. Some people say it could be that they just had a bad experience, that the medic couldn't save their friend, their comrade, whatever, their fellow soldier, whatever. So they have this. They think that we're worthless, which isn't necessarily true. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. You pull every trick you can out of the book, and somebody still passes, and you did everything you could to save them. So yeah, our engines have been smoking. Our temperatures have still been within the range. So that's all that matters. We're good. I think we're starting to descend here. We're going to come in over our we're going to have to cross over a bit of water coming up here, and then our island is way up there in the distance. Our where our water landing strip is. There is a runway, a land runway. If we have to land there, we can. But I don't expect that we'll need to. But if need be, we can do that. So there you go, Joseph. There's your story time. That's why I always joke that when Mick or Paul says medic, there's no medics. They're at the dining facility washing dishes. Or if you ever seen the movie Heartbreak Ridge with Clint Eastwood, and they have what they call an alert, right? Which basically used to be back in the day during the Cold War, units would go on alert that, things were kicking off. Hey, Sergeant Staff, how are you? Well, it's not over here. Like, everything suggests that they're not, but out here it looks like they are. Like, I don't have the what do you call it? The stuff on that would cause it, like nothing, like the failure stuff is not on. So I don't know if it's just, I don't know. I've tried to figure out, like I've leaned the mixture back, I've brought the props back, to about 70% to try to calm things down. Nothing seems to work. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm still on the Xbox. I wish I had. Trust me, if I ever get the financial means, I'm getting a PC. Oh, it's raining here. It looks like I just saw the rainbow. Nope, never mind. It's not rain, that's the tip of the prop there. Yeah, so, nice story time. Thanks, Joseph. So yeah, I don't know what else to do. I mean, I've looked at every possible, but I've monitored this, and we've stayed in the green on our temp and our pressure. So, yeah, I think that's what it is, because I've had this happen before, and I did land it because I was like, I don't know, I thought maybe it's better to be safe than sorry, but I think you're right, Sergeant Staff. It might be a bug on the Xbox. So, I don't know. I did look at Flying, or Big Radial's, I almost said Flying Iron, Big Radial's website before when I'd flown this and it happened. And there was nothing that I saw that says if you do, do this, this, and this, and it should be fine. Manifold pressure is 26-ish, yeah. Right there. It's definitely not up in the red, because I think this is like the danger area right here. If your manifold pressure goes up past 35. RPMs is like 1,850. Oil pressure's good. I mean, okay, that's in the yellow. The temp, I think. Well, let me see if I can. Nope, it's in the green. For the oil temperature. Oh boy, we're way off here. Oops, daisy. Well, I had it up at about 2,000, but I pulled it back just to see if that would change that cloud of. It started off white, kind of like it was, like steam or water was on the engine. It said on I don't know how to set it on auto lean. I'm sure there's got to be a way to do it on the, because I do have a keyboard. I have to look at that, the commands, to see if I can set it to auto lean. But yeah, it just seems like something's. It might be a bug, like you said. But yeah, I did. I pulled back on the RPMs. Leaned it to 81.2% to see if that would help. Pulled back on the throttle to got right there at the edge of the green area. So, oh, AL is auto lean. Okay, let me see if I can find the. Let's see, engine. Instruments, cameras, cockpit, fuel, slinging, throttle. I have to look. Wow, hold on, I'm getting really off course here. Yeah, I'll look it up at the commands to see if it's a keyboard on the side of the quadrant. Oh. Oh, AL. Oh, okay. So that's like within the... like right there, I think, is where you say it's. See, I don't know if that's ever worked for me either. 54. Yeah, it might be. I don't know. I mean, I did tank up I put a little extra in just to make sure we had enough to get to our destination. But you might be right, I may have put too much in. Like we had more than enough to get there as it was, and then I added more than necessary. I don't know. Yeah, but it's been kind of weird, but we're almost there. We're gonna put it on the water here shortly. Alright, so we're about 21 nautical miles, just under 22 nautical miles left to our destination. Yeah. No, oh, it might have been too rich. Ah. Okay, so if I put it, once I take off and put it to AL, then it should be fine. That might be it then. Or maybe I should have took it off, taken off it on the AL setting, which I think is where it's at now. Good to know. All right, let's have a look here at our Oh yeah, it might. I think that's what it might be, or it could be a combination of the two. Sergeant Staff is either it's a bug, but I may have I should have pulled back to auto lean once we were in the air, and that might have fixed the problem. I think our destination is coming up here. 15.7. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because the first time I flew this, I had the same issue. I'm like, well, okay, maybe there's something wrong. I better land. But then I looked at it. I'm like, wait a second. I didn't have the failures on enabled, so it shouldn't have been an issue. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those weird. Okay, MI4 is what we're looking for. La Pointe, there it is. Coming on runway 11. You have popped both engines just for fun. I believe that, Sergeant Staff. I believe that. I've thought about that. Like, I want to see, like, if the systems completely fail. What can I do to try to make it work? Get back on, get everything back on or whatever. All right, there's our landing guide. All right, we'll head over that way just a bit. That should be the actual airport right there. Off to the right. That if we have to land on the land, well, that's where we're landing. Yeah, that looks like an airport right there. 20 minutes, full throttle, full prop forward and leaned out. Wow. And it just totally went interesting. All right, we'll use our guide here. Put the water, activate the water rudder. So once we're on the water, we can steer. That was all she wrote. I might have to try that sometime just to see what it does. Like if we just like go crazy spinning out of the sky and all that. It might be worth it to do it just to. See, it seems like there's the flaps are like on auto. Like I had the flaps down for takeoff, and then once I got up in the air, they immediately went up on their own. So something's weird. All right, let's go for that end over there, and we'll. Make sure we don't stall. anything. Wow, look at this wind. Change your... Oh! What? Really? Hold on a second. Under the assistance options... Failures and damage. Okay, I have that. Piloting. Auto rudder. Huh. See, I wonder, because I think the first time I flew this, I didn't have the keyboard and mouse. And that's what I thought initially, because I couldn't even get the engine wouldn't, like if I tried to take off from on the water, once I spawned in, one of the engines would quit on me. So I had to take off from land to get to here today. Otherwise, it was going to be water takeoff, water landing. That was the plan. All right, we'll get it here on the... I almost said we're going to get it here on the ground, but we're going to get it here on the water here shortly, and then we'll have a quick look at the 414, Cessna 1414 from Fly Simware. The Goose also has a bug where one engine will starve for fuel if crossed isn't on. Yeah, see, I did put it on. And so yeah, that was one of the weird things. So when I spawned in, the cross was off. So I put it. Oh, this was off. The both. This was on, I think. I don't remember. It's a very weird. Yeah, I think there's just some bugs. Oh, nice. I like that. That's. I am kind of curious to see how the what is it? We're getting the Albatross next in November, I think, as part of the anniversary update. I know on the PC, I think there's a Catalina that's already out as well, which I would love to fly in the sim one day. I think it was the Albatross. It was something. I know we're getting the Spruce Goose, but I thought we were getting another. Something like, kind of like the Grumman Goose. I thought we were getting an Albatross. I know, but I know we're supposed to get the Spruce Goose, which I am. It's amazing though, because I thought for quite some time I thought they said that they could only do no more than 4 engines. It's in big. Okay. Yeah, I thought I saw somebody was flying a Catalina in the sim already, but yeah, maybe it is a. Oh, that's right, Colonel Fork has it. Okay, that's where I've seen it. Okay, or I don't know if I've seen him fly it, but I think looking at some of his past streams, I think he did talk about it or something. See, now the flaps go up. That's very strange. I don't know. I have a link to down. Nice. Yeah, that's the only unfortunate part about being on the Xbox side of things. We're waiting and waiting. Like when I saw the 414 and that little Cub, whatever, it was just like, okay, there's at least one, because I heard of Fly Sim where I've heard. I checked with Captain R on Captain Arish's Discord to see if anybody's had, because he has a good variety of either Xbox. He has Xbox and Sim sort of folks that would that may have had a. So a fun fact: the Goose, Widgeon, and others have no rudders, like no water rudder. Like I know this one says you can drop something that activates the water rudder. No wonder why I can't, like on the Widgeon, I've landed it or taken off on water, and it's like a pain in the butt to get it. Get it to steer. Oh, differential. Okay, I did not know that. Thank you. Now we learned something new today. Well, isn't it like basically the way they steer is they power up only one of the engines, and that helps them go left or right, and then they, like don't add power to the other one, kind of thing, if I remember correctly. Okay. Okay. I have to remember that next time. All right, now the flaps are coming all the way down. Interesting. Now it's saying we're too slow. On my left, hold on a second, I gotta pause. Ooh, sorry. My left thumb is starting to. Land side engine first. Okay. Oops. Yeah, see, when I spawn in, the plane's already started up. If I'm taking off on the water, full flaps for water. Yeah, like it's already all the way, all the flaps are all the way down, but now I don't want to lose too much more altitude, and I don't want to lose too much speed either. We're in danger of stalling here before we land. Yeah. I kind of figured they would be. Yeah, see, we're just like hovering here, and it says we're too slow. Almost feel like I'm in a helicopter. Like we're moving, but it's not like we're moving fast. See, yeah, we're all right now. Our speed's coming up. We can climb a little bit because I don't want to. I feel like I'm kind of low for this water landing to come around, because we still got to line up on the runway, so to speak. Left flap until you're above your, okay. So about halfway should be. Sufficient. All right, yeah, now we're climbing a little bit. Now I feel a little bit better about coming up on our approach. Because I know there's like a little island with some trees that we got to get over before we set down on the water. All right, there goes. Flaps are already starting to adjust. All right, now. All right, now I gotta throttle back a bit just to get the flaps to engage again. See, now they don't want to. Oh, come on. See, now it's like I'm going too fast and I cannot get the. You had turbo. Oh, okay. Huh. There we go. Now there's flaps. That's the first set. Now the second set. Alright. Now I think. So yeah, we got to get over that last bit of island right there. Ooh, boy. And I'm like dropping down like a brick. Oh boy, this is going to be... Yeah, this is really hard to do with the thumbstick. Whew. My left thumb is going to sleep, I think. Oh boy, this is gonna be close. Why? Oh, it sounded like the oh crap. Oh boy. Why does it sound like it's trying to lower the landing gear? Ooh, wow. Wow, okay. Oh. Yeah. Alright, well, we made it. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, we'd like to welcome you to MI4 Michigan Drummond Island. Local time is 7:53 in the morning. We understand that this plane has its issues, but we're glad we made it. By the hair of our chinny chin chin. Yeah. Yeah, it was... We're gonna go over here and find a spot to park it. Yeah, see, like the oil, that yellow light, I'm guessing that's saying the fuel pressure's low. Something's not right. So, 8:50. Oh no, in Michigan, I thought they were an hour behind me. I'm on the West Coast or on the East Coast. I think Michigan's an hour behind me. But maybe you're right. I thought it was an hour behind me. Let's have a look real quick. It is... if I can get this website to pull up. It is a... Okay, they are the same time zone as me. Oh. Thank you. I thought it was like central. Let's just go right over here and pull it. Oh, yeah, that looks like a good parking spot right over there. Ah, okay. Now I know. Knowing's out the battle. G.I. Joe. A real American Addies. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yes, I remember you told me that before. I do recall now. So I stand corrected. It is 8:56 in the morning. See, I think this is supposed to be a dock here. We're running right up on the ground there. Throw out the anchor. Now that we've polluted the air here with our billowing engines. Oh. Oops. Oh, it's sinking. Oh, maybe not. All right, there we go. I think it pulled the anchor back in. Interesting. Well, at least we're not sloshing around the water then. That's all right. We're gonna stop it here. Whew, boy, that was quite a treat. 1 battery, 2 battery. Hour 22. Okay, let me go ahead and... Yeah, they are unhappy engines. You are correct about that, Sergeant Staff. Absolutely correct. Let me put my hours in over here on Firefly Air, and then we're gonna go take a quick look at the 414 here real quick. I gotta find the Goose first. I think it's under JRF. Or it might be under Grumman. There it is, Grumman Goose. We took off from KESC, and we took off at 11:18 Zulu, arrived at MI4 at 12:40. Submit. Dashboard. All right. Be sure you load your passengers for a special treat. Yeah, at least I landed, Joseph. Yes. All right, so let's have a look here at this. Like they are totally lifelike and not all the... Yes, I saw that. I saw in the little... yeah, I'll show you. I'll show all that stuff. Yeah, definitely. Let's go here, because it's not too far from the Goose. Oops, aircraft selection. It is right. There it is. All right. And let's see. Let's just go. Oops. Let's go live everything. And we will spawn in at Syracuse. How about that? Syracuse. Let's see. I think the general aviation is over. I think it's back here somewhere. That's the Air National Guard base. Is it right there? Yeah, let's go right there. Oh, thank you, Sergeant Staff. Have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for the advice and help. Appreciate it. All right, so let me get the... So check this out once we're loaded in here. All right, so the cool thing is, right, we have a... So right now, this is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna go open up all the doors. I'm gonna show you guys all the doors first, and then we'll get the plane started. Maintenance, fuel, oil, the engine doors. We'll put the co-pilot on as well, just because. Oh, and then I'm going to load up all the passengers as well. 170, 150. 150, 150. All right, so now let's see if we have all of our passengers show. Ooh, maybe do I have to put it on here? Oh, I think I do. That's weather. Here it is. Here we go. All right, so check this out. Hey, look at that. We have people here. Now, this is the weird thing, right? This is like a mirror. This is the looking back towards the flight deck. And then you have space for luggage here. And then outside, let me go out here and go to camera mode so you guys can see all this fun stuff. Oops. And we'll get the plane started up. So you have maintenance stuff. There's your engine. So you do, it has the stuff for doing engine maintenance. You got the tie downs, the little chocks there for the wheels. You have a storage area here for luggage. There's a spot here, and there's another open spot there. You can put more stuff here as well. More, so you got your fuel and oil. There's your oil stick popped out. You have these little covers for the inlets. And then you also have lower, so you have the engines on both sides. And then you have in the back here, a little compartment back here as well. And then you have like a weight, like a tie down for the tail. And you have the door right there, open. Then we have a full complement of passengers. And again, a little bit more space right here over the engine. Doesn't look like it's very big. Like you could probably throw those like garment carriers. Like, you know, you can fold it in half, but then you can also lay it out on the in there for storage. Our fuel caps right there. So yeah, pretty cool overall, I think. Now this one, oh yeah, there it is. That side's open too. It didn't look like the other thing was down. So yeah, you can look at the engine detail. It's pretty cool that you can actually look at the engine for the aircraft right there. And you have your exhaust systems right under there. Retractable landing gear. And then there's the taxi light right here. It's right there on the nose wheel. And you have your covers for your pidots or pidos. I'm sorry, pidos have these little covers that go over them to protect them from anything. But yeah, pretty cool, I think. For the amount of detail you get with it, I think it's amazing. And the passengers do look a lot better than something we would see normally. You know, and they have that, like, here's this kid looking out the window like, oh man, really? And here he's looking back like, I'm gonna come back there and give you a give you a what for if you don't stop acting up. Talking on the cell phone. Wait, no, that's not right. Can't be talking on the cell phone on the plane. So there's that, right? So now we're gonna go back in here and we're gonna close all this stuff up, and we're gonna get started, get the aircraft started. Now, the one thing I did notice is the amount of stuff for the checklist. There's like a lot of pre-flight stuff, right? So we're just going to go ahead and put that there. Oops. Come on. All right. So let's get all these doors closed, or turn all that off. All right. Oh, we're just going to store that. Come on. All right. So let's get this thing started. Now there is an automated checklist. So it does help getting everything set. It even goes through all the checks. See, now it puts the cabin door open, but it'll close it once see, it opens all that. So it opened like that little oil area to check the oil level. No, I'm not flying. I'm just showing you guys this. I'm not going to fly this yet. I flew it. I need to fly it again just to feel a bit more confident with it. It's not a So yeah, see, it checked the oil level again. Engine openings, the so it checks all this stuff. I think it checks it a couple times. Now it brings the flaps back up. All right, now we get our avionics on. All right, so that's how you get it all started using the automated checklist. Now, one of the things I found out quite by accident last night, I don't think I turned on the transponder. So while I was flying, I had to manually put the transponder numbers in order, like if I'm flying and it says, squawk, blah, 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 right? So I'm expecting my co-pilot to do it, and it did not. So I had to do it myself. Tricky part is, okay, now this is something that will come later. This is a different, I think it's like a weather radar system. On the Xbox, we don't have it yet because of the WSAM issue that we're waiting for the fix to be enacted. So, but it has like all these different. So, for like my VORs, I think the navigation frequency would be put in here. This is for other different types of navigation. There's your comm radios. The autopilot system is a bit strange to get used to. Okay, so what I discovered was you have to set your altitude here. So if you go like say let's go 6,500 feet, right? And then you have to arm this. Oh, jeez, Jay, come on, give me a break, bro. So that's how you set it. Now you have to, when you take off, you put on the autopilot. Now I did this. What I did last night was I took off from Hayward and went to Livermore. Right, it's like a 20 or not even a 20-minute flight. But it wasn't like I put in the plan. I took off from Hayward, headed towards Livermore, got over Livermore, called in and said, hey, I want to land at Livermore. And they were like, okay, fine, kind of thing, right? So yeah, the autopilot system itself is a bit weird in that you have to, it's almost like you have to be at a certain altitude and then you have to enable it. And we've had this before, I think. Now, I think Flight Simware probably has a manual that I would have to read for the plane to understand it better. Okay, but that's it. And this is what it looks like. It sounds. A lot of people talk about Coronado aircraft in the sim and their sounds. Everybody says this sounds way better. Like, I think they actually got like recordings of the actual engines on startup and all that. So let's see, let's throttle up here just a smidge. Because we got the brakes still on. Doesn't that sound a lot better? That sounds like something you would expect from a aircraft engine, right? And then you can actually see the detail of the engine. It's not like just kind of botchy looking or whatever. You can actually see through there to see the engine and all that, which I think is pretty cool. Because usually in these little inlet areas on the engines in other aircraft, we only see like a it's kind of dark, it's like shadowed out. So that's part of the problem there, but we get to see that detail there. So there's your landing or your taxi light. The landing gear looks like really legit, I think. You have all this kind of dirt and oil and whatever from the landing gear. The tires look kind of worn. It looks like it's been flown. It's not something fresh off the factory floor, which I think is absolutely amazing. Why does it sound like there's... Oh. Huh. That's kind of a weird sound back there. But yeah, that's, yeah, it is. So this kind of reminds me, I don't know if many of you have ever seen it. There's a show that used to be on it, and the plane's a little bit longer on the show. There was a show called Wings. That it was two brothers that ran their own airline out of Nantucket called Sandpiper Air. And they had a Cessna. The Cessna that they had is a couple models previous to this. But it's very similar, except the one on the show it was a 402 from Cessna that had wingtip tanks instead of these little winglets on the end. So let me go back into the flight deck here, just out of curiosity. I think there's like wing lights. I thought there was wing lights. Maybe. No. The landing lights were. Oh, so from a distance here, the wing, these flash. All right, there's the landing lights. There, okay. Now they're shown. So they're underneath the very tip of the wings. Oops, chickens. So yeah, they retract up into here. But from a distance now, you get the flashing, the beacon lights here on the winglet. But yeah, it's a very nice plane. I agree, Joseph. Yeah, like it sounds a lot better, I think. It sounds like something you would expect from a prop plane like this. So, if you're on the PC or Xbox and you're looking for a twin engine, kind of like a luxury, somewhat executive or charter sort of aircraft, I highly recommend this one. I highly recommend it. It looks fantastic. I'll show you, there's a couple different liveries for it. Hopefully it'll be more later on. But yeah, it's an absolutely amazing plane, I think. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. So you got this blue and silver and like an off-white. But the great thing is, like what I was just saying before, it looks like it's been used, like it's been flown. It's not like fresh factory paint, like you could see all the stuff here on the underside of the plane from the like it looks weathered. It doesn't look brand new. So here's another blue. I think this is blue and red. Yeah. With a bit of gold maybe or something, or brown. That looks pretty sharp, I think. And then the last one is this black and gold, maybe a bit of silver or something, or gray. That looks pretty sharp too. And it's got like a little, I thought I had something on the tail here, like a little badge or something. But yeah, it looks, yeah, I really like this plane. I'm glad that finally we're getting something on the Xbox, at least, that is, pardon me, that is a much better looking sort of aircraft like this. So yeah, if you're looking, I would say, yeah, it's definitely it's an easy yes. I'll fly it. Once I get back from vacation, we'll fly it in a stream on a Friday or something. Once I get back, and show you. But it might be like mid-October because I just need a little bit more time practicing with it. But But yeah, it looks, I mean, the seats and everything look very comfortable. You got your little pillow and a your seat belts. I think this is like a little, maybe a little drink area, storage. Maybe it's a cooler or something. I don't know. But you have like all this stuff back here. It has like a, there's more storage for luggage. Tie downs back here. So 50 pounds per side for storage allowance. But yeah, it looks like there's, maybe this is like the little refrigerator maybe back here. I feel like, maybe not. So yeah, it looks like there's like a little seating area here, but it doesn't have a, I think, hold on a second. Because there was one that we saw that has like a little loo back here. Like you lift up the seat and then there's you put this curtain over for privacy. But there's somebody sitting right there, so you're still doing your business like right by somebody. I don't know. But yeah, that's and then you have lights. There's a light switch right there for the I think it turns on the light right over here over the area for the door to be open, when the door's open, like extra lighting for people walking in. Let's see, what does this say? Maximum baggage allowance for, see, that's kind of got a weird silvery look to it, so it's kind of hard to read it. Anyway, but this one's easy to read. So there we go. That's how it looks. So, yeah, I think it'll be a fun plane to fly. We'll put a plan together eventually. It does have the what they call the EFB, that little tablet there, and then this opens up and it's like a little storage spot for charts and other stuff. And then to top it off, right here, if you look where it says for the gear control, to the right of, or to the left of that handle, that's a cup holder that you can yeah, isn't it vengeful? To King Charles. Oh, okay, Mick. Yeah, it is pretty nice. But that's a cup holder there. I think, yep, the co-pilot has a cup holder as well. And then, but not as much. I think this opens as well on this side for charts and other little documents that you may need. Your flight plan documentation and all that. Yeah, it's nice though. I highly recommend it if you're looking for something, like kind of a luxury prop, semi-executive sort of thing, or charter. If you're thinking about something charter-wise, this is definitely the plane to get. So, anyway, that's going to do it for today, folks. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed today's flight and that little brief introduction to the 414 Alpha Whiskey. I will be back tomorrow at some point. I'm not sure when exactly. We'll do the flight either in the F-14 going from, I'll show you guys real quick. Going from North Island Naval Air Station, Halsey Field. We're going to go from there and we're going to zip up the coast here to Moffett Federal Airfield. We're going to come in right here on runway 32 right. Should be, well, thanks, Mick. Appreciate it. So yeah, either we'll do that or I will be flying wing with Para He'll be in the MiG-29. I might be in the MiG-29. I might be in the F-15. We'll see. But until tomorrow, I hope, enjoy the rest of your Friday, morning, afternoon, evening, early Saturday, depending on where you are in the world. I have been your host and pilot, Uncle B. Until tomorrow, peace, live long and prosper.